Hello and welcome to episode 1 of Art Talk-UnCut, brought to you by Creative Combinations Montana. So we are a husband and wife team that design and make metal art, functional art, and metal and wood furniture out of our garage here in Columbia Falls. So we got a little bit of a moody day today, but we are going to be talking about one of our, I guess, probably original, one of the first designs that we did. Not quite the first, but right up in there. So my name is Nate and this is Kelsey, and yeah, this is our Snowghost design. So we have decided we're going to put it in here in our garden, and we've kind of converted it into a hose holder. So I'm going to go ahead and finish burying this in a little bit and hand it off to Kelsey, and she'll talk to you a little bit about the design.
Welcome. So happy to have you here. So this, like Nate said, was one of our very first metal art designs. So we signed up for an art show. Unknowingly,
Kelsey signed us up for an art show.
knowingly, but we thought we were going to go with a bunch of furniture. We do a bunch of custom metal and wood furniture, some concrete, along with the metal. But we didn't know we were going to get a CNC plasma cutter when we signed up for this art show. So a little while after we signed up for our very first art show, we had an opportunity to invest in a CNC plasma cutter. And with our art show coming up, our very first art show coming up, we decided to try our hand at creating some metal artwork. And maybe you've seen like tons of like animal cutouts and all sorts of things. Like metal artwork is not a new thing, but I don't even know what got me this wild butt hair, but I got a wild butt hair and decided that I wanted to start doing designs off of photographs. The very first design that we ever did or created for our CNC plasma cutter for us to be able to create this metal artwork was of Great Northern, a beautiful, stunning mountain peak just south of Glacier National Park. And that was kind of like my very first trial run. And the second design, I decided to take on a Snowghost design. So if you're not familiar with Snowghost, they are this beautiful, epic, magical thing that happens in the wintertime here in Northwest Montana on Big Mountain or at Whitefish Mountain Resort, where the right temperature and right weather patterns create a caked on snow effect onto the tree. So it's not just a snow covered tree, but it's like a caked on snow covered tree, and they start turning over and falling over kind of like this top here. And I decided that I really wanted to try to capture the magic of the Snowghost into a metal art design. And this was what we cultivated first. We created a small, it's 3 feet wide by, from here to the very top, about 3.5 feet tall, steel privacy screen. A little bit small, but this was the very first one, and that spun off into a bunch of other designs and other creations. And like Nate said, we are giving this a new permanent home. We've hauled it around to a number of art shows at this point with different feet, and now it's got some new feet on it so that it can live next to our garden as our new privacy screen slash hose holder here. We really enjoy creating fun and functional art pieces so that not only does it look super rad, but it actually functions in a really beautiful way. For example, this steel privacy screen slash now hose holder is going to be perfect for us for our garden. So when we are mowing, our water spigot's over across the other side of the yard. When we're mowing, we can hook this hose all the way up and then unwind it for inside of our garden, as well as creating a little bit of privacy from the other side here and creating that functional beauty piece as well. And Nate just buried the feet in here, and that's kind of how we have mounted these pieces in the yards, is creating a foot on it with either 1/4 inch steel like plate or steel tubing like what's on this foot, and then just buried it deep into the earth so that when we get the crazy winds like we had last night where it's 35 miles an hour winds, it won't blow over in the windstorms.
And I do usually drill a couple holes in those feet too, so that way you can bury it down and then you can stake it as well. That way it's a nice secure fit, and then yeah, like Kelsey said, when you get that wind, it's not going to want to topple that thing over.
Yeah, and so we're really excited to have this in our garden because our garden is something we've always loved to cultivate. Nate and I created our very first garden, oh gosh, what was that, back in 2012, in just little itty bitty containers behind our tiny little studio apartment.
Yeah, our apartment. And a bunch of containers I got from Town and Country, the grocery store I was working at.
And the co-op, the store that I was working at, as a barista. And so it's fun to see our gardening life come full circle and being able to put some of our metal artwork that functions and creates some more fun and beauty, and also captures the whimsical, magical experience of skiing through the Snowghost on Big Mountain.
Yeah, so there's the chairlift, got the Snowghosts.
We left this piece raw. Let's see, we made it 3 years ago, so you can see the natural patina hues, the natural rust on it, and how different weather patterns have created some different other natural textures on here. So just to give you an idea of what 3 years of sitting outside will do to a raw steel piece. This was made out of 14 gauge steel, so it's pretty darn sturdy, and then it has a 1-inch angle iron frame. That this frame is the original frame. It's just the feet that are
Tubing.
oh yes, tubing, excuse me.
But we could do angle iron as well.
Yes.
Or round pipe. Kind of depends on the aesthetics you're going for. But yeah, adding that support across the side is what really stiffens that up. That way you don't just have the sheet metal there. So like Kelsey said, the sheet metal makes up the bulk of the design, and then I can come back and I can weld whatever material for the support. So this one's 1x1 steel tubing, and then it transitions in the bottom here to 1x2 steel tubing, and then that goes and is welded to the foot that we buried into the ground.
And that 1x2 steel tubing is recycled tubing from an old truck rack that Nate tore apart. So that's where you get a little bit of the old paint on the feet here. Just for our garden, that's what worked really well. And when we can use scrap metal, we like to use scrap metal. That's part of the vibe with Creative Combinations Montana, creating fun and functional, combining fun and functional, new and old material, as well as metal and wood, some concrete as well.
Opie, leave the bees alone.
And Opie is trying to eat the bees.
Opie,
Opie, come
leave
here.
it alone.
Opie. Because they drive her bonkers. Come here.
You're okay.
Unfortunately, she's allergic to bees, so
Okay.
come here, honey.
Just sit down. Sit. Good girl. You just wait there.
Come here, dogs. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's about it for episode 1. So
Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. Again, my name is Nate, and
I'm Kelsey. Thanks for hanging out with us for Art Talk-UnCut.
Art Talk-UnCut episode 1.
Woohoo!
Yeah. So the idea with Art Talk-UnCut is we will just be featuring probably like one of our creations for each episode, and then we'll just go over a little bit about, maybe some of the inspiration that led us to create the design, as well as the piece itself, and then a little bit about kind of what the purpose is. We do furniture, coat racks, wall art, privacy screens, plant holders,
other random steel contraptions that bring a little bit more function to your space. For example, we had a client.
T-shirts.
Oh yeah, t-shirts.
This one, so that's our Snowghost design on a t-shirt there.
And you'll see our goofy uncut selves, because that's the point of this, making it fun, real, and hopefully Opie doesn't get stung by excuse me, hopefully Opie doesn't eat a bee and get stung by a bee during one of these Art Talk Uncuts.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you so much.
And if you're interested in learning any more about us or our work, you can head over to our website, www.creativecombinationsmt.com. We have examples of a lot of our work on there, as well as an online shop. We also have an intake form where you can reach out to us to ask any questions or start a commissioned piece.
Thanks so much for being here, and have a beautiful rest of your day. Peace.